Graham, Justin, how are you guys? Great to have you both on the show.
Thank you very much. All good. Cheers.
Thanks, Ollie. Thanks for having us on. We appreciate it.
No worries. And whereabouts are you? So, Graham, you've just come back from Brazil, right?
Yeah, I did 2 weeks there doing training schools and back in Malaga now, straight into tours, Jarvis Signature Tours.
Nice. And how was the trip?
Brazil was cool. Yeah, it's just a really good place for riding. Obviously, it's a big place. You can ride, loads of places, a lot of riders. They all love it. They're into the hard enduro. All their trails are pretty gnarly, and it's always a good challenge.
Nice. And Justin was telling me just before we jumped on that you've got a bit of a following in Brazil, like the sports kind of pretty big over there, like outside of obviously
I went
US
there 10 years ago. I started to go there, and similar to USA a little bit, they weren't so into it. They didn't really understand the soft tires and the setup of the bike and stuff, and they started to get in there. So I've seen it grow from there. They've got their own championship, and the guys just want to learn. When you're teaching them, they just listen. They really want to understand the techniques, get better. And normally older guys like myself, they're into it, and they still want to keep bashing themselves up, keep trying stuff, improving.
Nice. And is it sort of expanding into different areas across the country, or is it sort of focused on like a region over there?
So, there's play. Yeah, it's obviously, desert and stuff. And then you got the forests and jungle type riding as well.
Nice one. Cool. And Justin, like it'd be great, I guess, to kind of get the story of where you guys met and kind of the connection there.
It's Graham's my my online gentleman that I met on Facebook. It's kind of a funny story. I reached out to Graham, and I really assumed that it was going to be somebody that managed his social media accounts. I had no idea that Graham actually did all of that on his own. So when somebody replied, I assumed that it was somebody else, and it was actually Graham. That was about 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, right before COVID.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, if it's okay with you, like I'd love to kind of, well, I guess jump back before Hard Enduro days and kind of like where it all sort of started with trials like over in the UK. And yeah, I mean, I've heard you were competing when you were 10. I mean,
yeah, that's it. I did trials from 10 years old to like 30, and then hard enduros wasn't really a sport, and definitely not a career move. There was a few races, people there was David Knight doing the normal world enduro, and then a few hard enduros on the side, but and then it just gradually grew from there. There's a few races, and then just more races kept coming and more riders, and it's just now it's just crazy and still growing.
Yeah. And would you say like how would you describe hard enduro or like extreme enduro? I mean, like, is it? I mean, it's basically, I mean, it's dirt bikes, motorbikes on like really sort of serious terrain, like gnarly conditions, right?
The cool thing is that it kind of brings different people in from different disciplines. You have got your motocross guys used to do motocross. They come in and start doing hard enduro. Normally older guys, but it's just all the skills are there, aren't they? The trials, the fast riding, and it's variation. So you can never get bored. You go different places, different challenges. I think that's the appealing thing about it. And you can ride with friends and have fun as well, can't you? It's never anything too intense, unless you're racing, of course.
Yeah, and like, would you say? I mean, like, was the appeal, like for doing it for like 35 years? Would you say the appeal was kind of always these big events and that rush and kind of winning, being on the podium?
There's two aspects for me. It's kind of, you got the winning. That's the the professional bit. I've got to be professional. It's jobs to win, but I still enjoy racing. But the fun bit for me is just going different places, meeting new people, and just challenging myself at riding new terrain and seeing different countries. That's the bit I really love.
And would you say, would you always kind of go back? Like, would you, if it was outside of the race, would you go to new places? Because I mean, doing the tour and doing the events, you would always be going back to the same place to race. But would you kind of look to go to different places when you had that time off?
Yeah, a lot of the races, they are places you've been before. There's new races, but yeah, just going new places and seeing new terrain and inspiring people there as well. You know, if they perhaps haven't seen top riders or understand the techniques, just going there and inspiring people is really good.
Nice.
Is that one of the great things about the Graham Jarvis Signature Tours, Graham, is that you get to go to other places and ride?
Yeah, so I'm fortunate enough to go a lot of places, and people always give me a bike, but it's not always that easy. So the idea of Signature Tours is to give everyone that opportunity to go different places and experience what I've experienced.
And where did the Signature Tours start? Was that when you were when you were racing? And
yeah, it started here in Malaga. I kind of got a base here where I could train, you know, good weather in the winter, good trails. And then I just thought, you know, can we expand this and move it to different places that I've been and know are cool places to ride.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And would you sort of look at it? It's like, it's kind of like it's the overall experience, right? It's not just riding and kind of having that day. It's kind of linked to,
yeah, for me,
like,
you know,
all the people over there, the food, everything like that. Right?
Yeah, exactly. You experience the country. You often see the real country rather than just a tourist destination, which is what I like. You know, you see real people, the real country in random places. More random, the better for me.
And there are some pretty random ones. So it kind of goes from like Wales, right? From rainy Wales to then like Panama and Chile, and like,
yeah, that's
it's a bit of a contrast.
Yeah, the latest one, Nepal. You know, the guy just said, you know, we're in Nepal, we've got bikes. Do you want to come here? And only 3 months of my injury recovery, but I thought, you know, a steady ride in Nepal would work well. So just book a flight and we're in Nepal, a new place, incredible place.
Nice.
Good experience. And so it kind of goes like that, just random.
How was the riding over there? Like what was that like?
Yeah, it's literally up the mountains, so up to 4,500 meters. I don't know what that is in feet. Some of you guys work in feet, but yeah, just, you know, you can obviously freedom. That's the key to these places when, you know, we are restricted a lot in Europe. So just to go a place with freedom to ride, and the people are so friendly, and it's just a cool experience.
Awesome. And so last year, like that was when you did your knee. Was that like how that was during a race? What happened? Like that was
second day in Romania. Yeah, I was leading, but I was already tired, to be honest. But it might be part of it. But I was pushing as hard as I could, probably a bit too much. I was riding with Manny, kind of leading, but you know, always want to push as much as I can. It was towards the end, and it was obviously a little bit unlucky. I just hit a rut, stuck my foot out, caught it wrong. A lot of pressure on the knee, and it kind of just twisted. Not too much. I had knee braces on, probably saved it a little bit, but cruciate ligament had broken. So it's kind of 6 months to repair it. Luckily, I went straight into surgery, and it's just 6 months now, and it's 90%. It's a little bit hard getting that last 10% back fully, but got a few months to the next race, first race in Israel. Mm-hmm. So just hopefully happy to be back riding and having fun.
Yeah. And what did you do during the downtime? I mean, apart from...
Yeah, so a lot of things going on.
Have your leg up, right?
Yeah, it gave me a bit of time I've got plenty to do, so I was never bored. That was a good thing. Getting organised with the race gear, the tours, and you know, the website. Working on that. Just lots of new projects. My mind was been working overtime.
And were these things that you were kind of putting, like, that you thought about and you kind of had plans before the injury, or did that kind of...
Yeah, they were kind of all...
You were like, what am I going to do? Like, what's next kind of thing?
Yeah, see, I'd already set up the tours and the race gear, but it gave me a bit of time to put more into that. And then the online training is the other one as well. So that one has been in a project for a while, but that gave me time to really focus on that. You know, these training days, I go travel around the world, but you know, in this day and age, to give it to people online, accessible. They can learn new skills from the basics to advanced pro level, and it's kind of, I thought it's something we can carry on, because you've got the basic techniques, but there's so many variations in hard enduro that we just keep going on different situations, adapting the techniques, and perhaps mix it up a bit behind the scenes preparation, nutrition, fitness. I think we can. There's a lot to talk about, a lot of knowledge I want to pass on.
Graham, where can you find that, and what's the name of the channel?
Yeah, GrahamJarvis.org. Yeah, it's on the website. You can subscribe. Nice. Yeah,
and it's Jarvis TV, right?
Jarvis TV.
And speaking about like the whole sort of production side of things, you guys have been filming and doing a documentary kind of about your whole story, I guess, which is Silent Assassin. I mean, when did that start? When you kind of thought about, like, when you guys thought about the idea?
Justin?
Well, the idea started probably, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago. And to be perfectly honest, Graham told me no. He didn't want to do a movie. He said that he didn't want to be a part of something that wasn't great. So he definitely put the pressure on me, and I definitely I feel it at times. But the reality is I know that I'm working with, you know, the most decorated rider in the world, somebody that has more views and is more popular than any other motorcycle racer in the world. I mean, there's a few folks out there. You know, you got your Rossies, and you've got your Hurlings, you've got your Kenny Roxons in the U.S., but then you also have Graham Jarvis, and he surpasses a lot of them with his popularity. So obviously he's moved past people in just regular, you know, enduro and motorcycle markets. He's gone well beyond that, and so many people actually know who Graham is that don't really ride.
Yeah, I'm the guy that fell for a shed first. I'm the guy that fell for a shed. Everybody knows that guy.
Exactly.
just that guy on Instagram.
Nobody knows.
Why did you say no?
Like, what? They know I fell for a shed. They don't know whether I won races or not.
What was the reason, do you reckon, like at the beginning, like, because you must have been asked this quite a few times, you know, if you kind of wanted to do a production like this, and why did you say no initially?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we just want to do something good. You know, people have asked me before, but you know, I did a book. You know, people obviously can read about it, how I came about to where I am now. A lot of people don't really know the trials background and how it all came about. A lot of people aren't old enough to remember after that.
With the film, I mean, that sort of dives back into the past, go from trails, and then it sort of looks at all these different locations as well, right? Because you guys were sort of like looking at the trailer, you were filming over in Portugal and kind of all over the place.
Yeah, we'll be filming literally around the world. We start with race footage in Israel in April, and we don't end until October in Spain. In between that, we'll be in Austria, we'll be in Romania, Serbia, Italy. And then, of course, there's 2 rounds in North America this year. Last year, they did include the round in Tennessee, the Tennessee Knockout. And then this year, there'll be an additional race in North America up in Canada at the Outliers event there.
Okay.
So, yeah, we will be shooting all over. In addition to that, we'll be doing another, at least 1 to 2 more shoots somewhere in the world with just epic backgrounds and scenery.
Nice. So it's going to be, it's basically we'll then be covering the World Championships.
Yeah, we'll be
all the different stops that you guys are going to be going to.
Yeah, we'll be covering the entire 2022 FIM Hard Enduro World Championships. In addition to that, like I said, we'll do some big, you know, kind of epic film production as well. You know, helicopters, that type of thing. So that will be exciting for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And Graham, when did you start doing your own team, like with the great with the Jarvis Racing Team? When did that all begin?
So last year, we created the team, so starting from nothing, but the idea is to again pass on my knowledge to the young riders and give them the opportunity to have a professional setup at the races. But obviously my knowledge of experience, passing that on is the most valuable thing. But I just know what it's like as a young rider to try and get that opportunity. If you've got talent, it's sometimes not enough. You need that opportunity and somebody behind you with the experience to help you take it to the top level. Obviously, not everyone's going to make it to the top, but just giving people that opportunity, young riders, the chance.
Yeah, I mean, how did it happen with you? Like when you were kind of doing, when you started off with the UK events. Was there someone there? Like, did you kind of had like was there any mentors at the time that sort of helped you?
So in the trials, I'd won all the youth championships and stuff, and kind of everybody knew me. But to take it to that next step, I was just way out of my depth. It was to a professional level. It's just really difficult. So Malcolm Rathmell, an old champion, previous champion, he kind of stepped in and really helped me, and probably without him I probably wouldn't have made it. So sometimes it can make the difference. The people around you, people behind you advising you can be the make or break.
Nice one. And have you, like, with the team, is there any sort of like have you developed a program for them, or is it sort of it's just kind of passing on your experience and kind of, I mean, you've been there?
Yeah, that's it. I'm always there at the races with them, but Spain, we've got a base here where they can come and train as well. They can train with me and just help any way I can. Organise at the events, the bikes and all the rest of it, and walking the track, advise on the track when we're there.
Yeah,
and and obviously from my point, it's kind of hopefully at Summit it will carry on in the future. So I'm 46, nearly 47, so I don't think I've got another 10 years in me.
Still going hard now, though.
Yeah. Still going to give it another year, 1 year at a time, just see how I feel.
Is that what it is? You think you kind of sort of you just take it like
I think
just do one season and then kind of
see how I feel, and then see how the body's feeling more than anything. I think the mind's still willing, but sometimes the body's not too happy. But and if I'm enjoying it, maybe if I'm not winning but still enjoy riding and getting good results, it's still good. But maybe if I don't think I can win, then maybe I might lose interest.
Yeah. But then, do you think? I mean, there's always been this pressure, especially when you start winning everything, right? So, I mean, do you think that kind of kept you motivated and kept you driven, that you wanted to then continue that run and always be winning, or was it just like, I don't know, almost like this sort of
I think
smothering feeling that you kind of like you're always in that spotlight and people were then just expecting you to kind of perform every single event?
Yeah, probably whether you're winning or not, you put pressure on yourself to do your best you can. So there's always that pressure of racing, but so it's that life of just riding bikes is good as well. Like I say, traveling the world and stuff, but the racing, there is a certain amount of pressure, and it is hard if you've been winning and then younger guys coming up and beating you. It is a bit of a mental thing you got to get your head around, but at the end of the day, can't be too hard on myself at my age. Got to remind myself how old I am sometimes.
It's pretty cool with the team though as well, because then you can sort of see them like with the riders there and how
that's
they're
it.
doing. And
it gives me a motivation to keep going to the races as well. And if I'm there with the team, might as well ride as well.
Yeah, nice one. And where did like going back to the shed with the whole content side of things, did you think, or was that like sponsor led, or did you just think I'm going to start filming and putting some clips together of what I'm doing. Either at the races, like the footage would be coming out of the races, right? But then kind of like behind the scenes, where did that all begin?
With the shed?
No, just with filming, like with like, you know, with was it Facebook or was it YouTube? Or yeah, what did you do to start it?
Yeah, so I remember the days before the social media. So yeah, obviously it's grown, hasn't it? So that's all part of the job now. But I just enjoy doing it anyway, just doing random clips and people obviously enjoying what I'm doing, watching it. So it just goes from there, and just I don't really plan anything. It's just kind of, what am I doing today? Oh, we found something gnarly. Let's film that. It'd be funny. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's ride over a shed. It'd be funny. Let's film it.
A lot of that started during COVID, though, right, Graham? When you had some extra time and you were like, okay, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, that's it. So that kind of just spiraled. I just started doing some stupid things in the garden. The people were liking it, so I just had to keep it going and taking it to a new level each day.
I've heard your dad say in an interview that you were doing stupid stuff in the garden like when you were a kid. So this isn't anything new, right? This is kind of like
he's seen me
a continuation.
Riding over random stuff in the garden. He's seen it all before. It's normal.
Up and down the house and stuff.
And no burnouts on the countertops at the mom's house, though. I haven't imagined. Right?
No, that wasn't allowed.
And now, I mean, like looking at this following, you got over 1 million followers on Facebook, over 1 million on Instagram. How are you guys managing it? Is it it's got to be like a team effort, and like how did you grow it basically to get to that point? Was that just sort of doing these clips, and was that yourself, Graham, or what happened?
Yeah, it's just grown naturally. Like I say, just waking up, just filming something that I'm doing every day. There's no real plan.
That's how we did it, right there.
just on the phone, constant.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, it's become more of a job, part of the job, but something to enjoy. It's not difficult. It's
That's
fun.
why his battery is going to die, because he's been on the phone all morning.
And like, is there like now? I mean, are you kind of getting help with managing these accounts, and then sort of keeping on track of everything? Is there kind of like almost a sort of strategy around all that?
Yeah, that's it. I've got guys helping me a little bit, with a lot of the footage, all the GoPro stuff and that. It becomes a bit more of an editing job from the races or stuff like that. So, but I think it's going to keep growing. We're going to keep growing the YouTube stuff, and hopefully with Justin's help as well.
Yeah. Ollie, we definitely will have big things coming for sure in 22 and 23, without a doubt. There'll be some stuff that people will want to definitely be aware of and kind of keep their ear to the ground. Can't necessarily talk about that yet, but we'll definitely have more media coming out for sure.
Nice. And is it sort of like, does that then all sort of funnel to the website? Because this is sort of like with the Graham Jarvis TV, or is the TV, is that just the tutorial side? How does it sort of work with all the content that you guys are doing? Well,
everything is always going to be integrated. So it will all point to kind of all channels.
Graham and Justin, where did the idea for the apparel and the clothing line come from? What was...
I just thought, I just wanted to have my own design initially, a Jarvis design, how I wanted it, and then give people the opportunity initially to buy, like the race kit that I wear with all the sponsors, the pro look, and then, we're going to bring in more standard designs and different options.
Nice. And Is that sort of looking across the whole range of clothing, and then like would you kind of look at expanding that out further as well, or?
Yeah, it's one of them. You don't know where it's going to lead to. Just, it's something I wanted to do. If it starts working, people like it, we'll bring in more products. It's that kind of thing. Like everything else I do, you just kind of do what you want to do and see what happens.
Yeah. And like, have you spoken into like other brands? Would you do any like collaborations or?
No, the idea is that it's the Jarvis brand. Build it up as a brand, and that can lead into different products as well. Have a whole range, some hard parts for the bikes as well. Hopefully,
nice.
Some collaborations are possible as well. With the other bits and pieces as well. So all highest quality. Keep it. The best. We want the best stuff possible on the bike and what we're wearing.
And then this will be for the team as well, right? And then
that's it. Get the whole team looking the same, looking professional, and first thing is you got to look the part, isn't it? That's the most important thing.
And of course, Graham and Brand Jarvis is open to collaborations, so that people do know that it's he wants to develop his own brand as well as the collabs that may be possible, again, with the highest quality products.
Yeah, nice. And I mean, with everything that's happened last couple of years with COVID and kind of people having more time, people being at home, how's that been for the sport, would you say? Is there been a massive increase?
Yeah, everybody says, everybody's just started spending and buying bikes and buying whatever they can. And the social media was good in the end. The positive thing from the lockdown was, I got a lot from the garden videos. But and it kept me busy, kept me in a good frame of mind, gave me something to do. So you've always got to look at the positives from a bad situation. It's been difficult times for a lot of people, not much racing and jobs and stuff, but it's always a way out. There's always a positive to it all.
Mm-hmm.
On a numbers game, Ollie, the increase in off-road motorcycles has been double digits in almost every country in the world, and the biggest increase for the market really has been off-road. And it's just because people can get out and go enjoy, be in nature, and not have to be around a bunch of different, a bunch of people at the same time. The increase in the off-road market, specifically enduro and hard enduro, is taking on because it's more accessible. Not everybody has access to a motocross track, or not everybody has the talent to ride a supercross track. I mean, that's really a very, very small number of people that can actually either have access or actually have the skills to ride a course like that. Pretty much anybody can go out and ride an enduro bike, and what their hard enduro is kind of independent to everybody. What Graham does is incredible, and his 90% is everybody else's 1,000%. So it's all relative in that sense, but everybody can go out and have a great time.
And there's all different levels, like what you were saying, right? So it's kind of right from the beginning of it to like what you were doing with the online tutorials and with the TV is kind of whether someone's like looking to kind of improve on their skills or learn new skills, they can do all of that, right? So there's all these kind of different entry levels.
Yeah, that's it. Like Justin says, it's all relative to everybody's own level. I always say that on the school, you only challenge in your own level, trying to improve from where you're at. And, that's what it's about. Just, that feeling of improving your own skills and achieving something, that sense of achievement.
Yeah. And where do you see the sport going? What's the future for hard enduro?
It seems to be just keeps growing and growing. Publicity, on the social media, all the riders keep doing crazy stuff, and that all helps, to people to see what we're doing and get into the sport. And I think it's just gonna just keep growing and growing. It's like I say, it's something that everybody can do, whatever level. It challenges. It's never boring. Always new stuff to do, and at the end of the day, people like to watch people crash and bash themselves up.
And like over the years, I mean, has there been a place where you would always kind of love to go back to for a race or just in general, like out of racing season?
Yeah, from early memories, Romaniacs was one of the first races I did, so that's always a favourite. And then, but obviously, I've got a base in Spain, so love that place. Good trails, and then anywhere with trails, sunshine, and freedom is always a good one.
Yeah.
Ollie, if we could touch back just real quick on the growth of the sport, specifically with hard enduro, it is growing everywhere. However, the North America is definitely the largest growing market. The AMA, so the American Motorcycle Association, this will be the inaugural year of the Extreme Enduro championships for them. There'll be an East and West Coast that will culminate actually at the TKO, the Tennessee Knockout.
Okay.
Yeah, for that is an FIM round, but the culmination of of the AMA series, the culmination of the AMA series will be at TKO.
Okay. Nice. And will that then expand out of the US, do you reckon? Is that sort of something that's gonna,
I think that the popularity of all of the riders, from Graham to Billy Bolt and Manny Lettenbichler, all those guys are so popular in the United States. It has nowhere to go but up from here.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of really amazing young guns that are coming out of the US as well as Canada. That, again, the sport has nowhere to go but up, especially in North America.
Nice. Cool. And what's the best way if people want to follow everything that you're up to? How can they reach out? And
obviously the YouTube, the social media, it's all out there. You got the Red Bull guys doing their stuff on theirs. It's everybody's filming it as well, so you can see a lot of the races now. Obviously, it's not the easiest to film. Sometimes we're doing bigger laps and stuff, but getting some really good footage of what we're up to.
To contact Graham directly, you would go to grahamjarvis.org. That is the website. Then he has GeForce Jarvis on Instagram, and then the YouTube channel is Graham Jarvis as well. So those are three probably the best ways if you want to see what Graham does and the things that he has to offer. Those will be your three best avenues to get a hold of him.
Nice. And in regards to like stunts, anything on the horizon, or any kind of like sort of things that you're kind of working on, or is the focus just going to be racing for this coming year?
Yeah. So when the races are there, I've got to be a little bit more focused on that, but it's pretty random. It's kind of when they go in new places, it's kind of just look around. What can I ride over? Something different. So no real plan. Yeah.
Cool. And any new places coming up sort of outside of the tour that you guys are going to be going to?
Yeah, we'll be exploring new places, potential tour locations and places I've been before. But I've covered a lot of South America, Brazil, but Argentina, Chile. Chile's the next destination for the tour, so I'm going to be going there, seeing what's happening. I've heard good stories. So I've covered a lot of the world, but there's plenty more to go at.
Yeah. And it's kind of never ending, right? With this sort of stuff. If you
I see more than most how popular it is around the world. These countries you kind of think that they're not really into it, but it's just amazing how worldwide it is.
Yeah.
In Indonesia, for example, is just everybody loves it. They haven't not all of them have got not all of them have got new bikes, but they have big events, and everybody just uses whatever bikes they've got and they just follow what we do, love it, and so it's cool to see so many countries into it and following us.
There's if anybody is actually interested in speaking with Graham about a tour, a signature tour, there is a spot there, partner tab on the website. So if you are looking to get involved with a Graham Jarvis Signature Tour, whether you want to attend one or you want to become a tour provider, you can get information there.
Cool. Perfect. Good stuff. Well, Graham, Justin, thanks so much for your time. It's been Awesome. Well,
All right.
thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Great to
all.